Wow, foot behind the rope again. Oh boy. Watch your girl, homie, she's getting spotted. She's gonna land and I'll be nodded. Pulling in slack, she's laying back. I'm screaming, get your hair back in that crack. What you mad at? I showed her try. Now they all out here calling me dad. Bringing friends, we going nuts. We climbing, no ifs, ands, buts. Then you hit that deck, you getting wrecked. I'll play it slow, give it a check. Giving a belay, fitting to slay. Reaction's gonna be cray. Pulling on rocks, better pull up those socks. Strap on that helmet, don't wanna get knocked at the crag. These boulders are saven, rocks just fell, see? Told you, Gavin, don't be a dope. Tie in your rope or I'll swoop and give you a choke. Yeah, I got the beta, ain't gonna be spraying, but if you're wise, you would hear what I'm saying. Now sit for a spell and tell me your tale. We ready for these climbing fails? Hey everybody, welcome back. Daddy's back. That's kind of a weird thing to say, a bunch of random people on the internet. Anyway, I'll just roll with it. I'm proud of you, son, for subscribing to YouTube's favorite underground climbing channel, slightly underground climbing channel. Our goal is 50K subscribers, and we're on our way there. It's awesome. It really helps me convince my wife that making YouTube videos are more important than chores. So thank you for subscribing and hitting that bell. Let's get right into these fails and learn the easy way instead of the hard way, shall we? Whoa! So that was his second quick draw. So he didn't completely deck, it looked like. He didn't bust his tailbone open. Pretty scary. So what happened here? There's a few reasons this could happen. Number one, you could either be worn out, or if you unclip, it's user error, or it could be chemically changed, which is kind of being worn out. So people sometimes they'll leave their quick draws on the rock, and Dyneema, which is what these quick draws are made out of, usually lets you make your own out of a sling. But anyway, even then they're plastic, same thing. So anyway, it's like a super type of plastic material, and UV radiation will just wear it out. So sometimes people will leave their quick draws on the rock, and the sun will bleach them, and then they'll become weak and brittle. This one here, just by looking at that, it doesn't look like a sun-bleached quick draw to me. So it must have gone back and forth over the rock, or maybe over a sharp edge. And by the looks of it, the bottom of the quick draw snaps right here along this edge. So I would say that this guy was swinging back and forth along this edge, and then it just cut it. It must be just going over a sharp edge. Pretty scary stuff. Watch your edges. That would probably also be the fault of the bolter, putting the bolt somewhere maybe where the quick draw is gonna be dangling right over a sharp edge. So yeah, gotta think about that stuff, especially if you're bolting. I don't know if bolters how smart bolters are. You know, you come up and you don't know who bolted it. You gotta be pretty smart to bolt things. You don't want to just stick bolts in places willy-nilly. That could be hazardous for obvious reasons. What is this guy doing? Like dry tooling? He's only got one piece. Is it a bolt?
Yeah, then your problem is you gotta come down.
He's got two ropes.
Hey, don't tell him what he can't do.
Oh! Don't tell him what he can't do. Tell him to put a helmet on. How about that? What did his tooth pop out? He caught an axe right in the face. That is so gnarly. Why? Just why? What can I say about that one? It's just, the helmet. If your belayer is telling you something, you should probably listen to the belayer. It looks like there is a piece lower down there. It's not. No. It looks like there's just one piece there. And I guess he's trying to clip into another piece up higher. Pretty gnarly fail. Looks like we got a pretty heavy climber versus a light climber here. Reaching up high, giving it some slack. Going for it. Oof. Sending that belayer flying. Okay, so you can see here we have a hazard of the belayer getting their head knocked on a rock. So that's a good reason to wear a helmet. You don't want to knock your belayer unconscious. Eldred sells a device for lighter belayers so they don't go flying up like this. It's basically, I haven't owned one or took it apart yet. I really looked into it, but I never used one. But what it does, you can watch some videos on it, and what it does is it takes up, I think it adds friction, And that way you don't go flying if you're a light belayer versus a heavy belayer. So maybe look into that. I don't know what it's like pulling through slack through that thing, but I'm sure it works. So take a look into that if you're a light belayer. Another thing that could happen here is if there was another piece down lower, then the belay device could jam up into that quick draw, which would make your hand come off of that. So you want to be able to keep your hand on the brake line. Really got to do a good belaying video in a future episode. So another thing you could do is you could tie yourself into the ground. It looks like the only thing down there is a bunch of dirt. So really the best option is either probably using the Eldred device thing there, or just prepare yourself to get thrown up in the air and make sure you wear a helmet so you don't get knocked unconscious. Oh boy. Okay, so what do we got here?
You're gonna have to try to move it up.
His hand is stuck. Okay, so it looks like the rope is going down to the rescuer. So oh, it looks like he's gonna be sick. Oh no.
I just shit my pants.
You have a confirmed brown point. Confirmed brown
I
point.
just shit my pants.
Right, so the right way to go about this would the right way to go about this would be to tie a rope coming down from the top and tying into the guy who's stuck. Because if we could tie a rope into him and haul him up, because he's leading and he's hanging on his ligaments, if we could tie a rope on him and haul him up and make him weightless, then it's going to be a lot easier to get his appendages out of the rock. Okay, what's going on here? Oh boy! Oh man, at least you had your helmet on, right? Right? No, did you? Can't tell. Doesn't look like you're wearing a helmet. Maybe it's a good idea. So this really bothers me because the ledge is right there, and if I was just trad climbing, I would put a piece in just standing on that ledge, kind of hanging out, and I'd be able to put a piece in right above my head and stick a piece in. I don't know if you could stick a piece in this hard dirt here, but my problem is whoever put the bolts should think of that. You want to protect from hitting that ledge. You want to be able to just clip in and make yourself safe. Standing on the ledge, clip in the bolt, you're not going to go anywhere. Instead, you have to climb right above that ledge, which is like a huge no fall zone. So sometimes people will bolt just for adrenaline instead of for safety, and I think that's kind of messed up. Because, like I said, if I was trad climbing, if I was able to put a piece in there, I'd put a piece in there. It's pretty sketchy, but since we could bolt anywhere, why not stick a bolt so you could protect the ledge and put a helmet on, protect your head. So any new climbers that would watch this would be kind of wondering what's going on here. Why does she fly out like crazy? So basically she's top roping an overhang. So if the rock wall is like this and the rope's going to come straight down, if you just have your rope coming straight down and you walk over to here and you start climbing up, when you fall you're going to swing out. So this would be more of a lead climb where you would just climb up, clip in, climb up, clip in, and when you fall, you're just falling straight down, you're not swinging out. If you could get somebody to climb the route first, which would be the first climber to climb up, they rappel down, then the rope is clipped in all the way. Then what you could do is you could top rope it and you could climb and unclip, climb and unclip, and then if you fell, you're only going to swing out to here. So you got to think about that. You don't want to become a wrecking ball. Here's one for all the Sprat guys, all my Sprat friends. Check this out. So what this guy is essentially doing is creating a directional, because as we can see here, this rope is probably leading back to an anchor, but he wants to get over somewhere where his rope isn't in line with the anchor. Because if you're not in line with the anchor straight and you're over here, your rope's going to slide to become in line with the anchor. So he's putting a directional over here. Now the problem is, and it looks like he's got his second rope over there, unless he's not, he's only working off one rope, and that's another rope he was working off, and now he's working on this one. He should have two ropes. The problem is that if this weird looking contraption, which guys do use this in a more sophisticated way with huge metal weights and make a really bomber anchor. This, I mean, I get the physics with what's going on here, but it ain't the right way to do it. You wouldn't be seeing this in America. Let's put it that way. It's got to be a foreign country. So basically, if that thing kicks off, someone kicks that sandbag off or whatever, his rope's going to slide across that edge. He's going to get a cut and he's going to go flying. So, yeah, OSHA would probably be getting a call on this one. Oh, boy. These are the guys that drive up my company's insurance. Here, oh boy, a strange anchor build here, huh? Going around the tree, we got some cordelette, and then we got Dyneema. It looks like it's knotted on either side. I think the thinking behind that would have been, if it was just a loop of Dyneema instead of a knot, then the hazard of that Dyneema going over the edge is greater, because if one strand gets cut, if it was a loop, it would just fall right through, but since it has knots, it won't. But you still got the loop on the bottom of that beaner, which is gonna like hold it right over that edge. So I mean, this just shows a real lack of understanding on how to build a proper anchor. They got like a one beaner on top, but two beaners on bottom. I think this whole thing could have, I might get some flack for this, but the whole thing could have been avoided if they just moved the anchor probably up higher on the tree. I mean, you don't want to do that on a small tree, because you're putting like a lever on the tree, so you're pulling the tree harder. But this tree is what, like a foot and a half wide? It ain't going anywhere. You can put the anchor up higher, and then you just completely pass this edge probably. Can't tell by the camera, but yeah, this is a really sloppy anchor build. I would probably be having a word with the person, and I'd say, hey, you know, what's that about? And then I'd want to show them how to build a proper anchor, talk about different methods. See, now what I like to have is like a 50-foot static line that's like 10 mil, and I just bring a 50-foot rope, extra little rope, because you put it around trees and stuff, all your gear is going to end up getting like sap from these pine trees. So if you could put like a tree guard around it, get your 50-foot rope, build a nice anchor, then you're set for anything. You know, you don't run into weird situations like this. So, all right, did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments below so others can learn, and I'd like to learn too if I missed anything. So let me know. And thank you for all the support. I made the climbing cop sticker for your Nalgene bottles. You all been asking for it. So it's down there, description below, betaclimbers.com. Check out all the links, join our Discord, come hang out. Josh Perry, climbing out of here. Catch you in the next episode. Woo!